Yeah, not sure what to make of this. So, yeah, we're talking pretty steep cliffs, but they came down this rope. I think this rope is permanently attached. Well, they made it down safely. Maybe they know what they're doing, but I'm just not convinced you should be, constructing your own kind of methods just to get down these cliffs. I mean, there are other beaches you can safely walk down at the end of the day. But look, they're safe. They're safe. Having said that, they're going to get back up again. So I don't know if it's that trivial to get back up. So maybe just pray for these two young, I don't know, teenage girls who are just a bit lost and having to take a rope. You can see here, well, there's their bag, and they've got this rope here, and they've taken this rope down this cliff, and it says here, don't go over the cliff. You can see here, unstable cliffs, danger, stay back, no public access. Even the birds are kind of, kind of struggling, but yeah. Okay, I was going to do a minuscule ant slam, but yeah, maybe I'll go, I don't know exactly. Could just do a minuscule ant slam. Yeah, check out these birds. Check out the coordination of these birds. Look at that. Just fantastic. 5 of them, in fact. 5 of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5. Yes. There's a couple of... So how did they get out there? It's interesting. Yeah, how did these surfboard riders get out here? Oh, no, they've taken it out from the beach. There's a beach around here. So they've gone out right around there to the beach, and I think they've then got all the way through there. Yeah. And of course, there's a few birds there on the rock, and there's Baron. You can see a dog going past with the Casper shirt. Okay, let's check on if there's any danger for these young teenage girls. No, they're fine, obviously. Well, even then, they got no shoes walking on these rocks. Just crazy stuff. I don't know. It is the US, though. You can pretty much do what you want in the US. Okay, so, yeah, maybe I'll walk a bit around, do a minuscule ant slam, or maybe tomorrow morning. I was going to catch the sunrise for a slam, or a minuscule ant slam, but, yeah. Well, tonight, okay, so the Shakespeare tonight, 8 p.m, some creepy stuff going on. So, yeah, the art piece or out of the Jenga blocks. Walked back into the Harstel, and I don't know, it's just weird. They said, "What is your name?" I've been staying there for like 4 nights. They said, well, 3 nights. They said, "What is your name?" I said, "Tristan," and they said, I'm the new whatever manager. Well, not manager, but staff. Could you remove the Jenga blocks? But they've been there several days. I don't know. It was quite a very interesting event. I think people feel a little bit kind of, I don't know, maybe they thought it was a cult? I don't know exactly. Well, it is a cult, but no. I mean, it was out of the way. No one was even going there. They could have removed it themselves if they really wanted to. And anyway, so I built something on the bookshelf. Could that get removed? I don't know what will eventuate from that. Now, yesterday, in fact, I'll say more about the hostel in a minute, but yesterday I bought this ant from, hang on, what's her name? Hang on, just get her name. Gillian? No, it's not Gillian, it's, no, hang on.
Don't jump.
Good morning.
Yeah, actually, there's some, people went down that cliff there, yeah. Is that common, is it? You go down that rope?
The what?
You can see a rope there, so a couple of people...
Yeah, the 2 little girls walked up it.
Is that common, is it? I guess so, yeah. Trying to find more out about these, about that rope thing. Okay, so, hang on. Trying to hold this at the same time. And okay, so, yeah, here it is here. So Lorraine, now she's ranked in the top 20 artists in the US. Very good artist. Lorraine Marie Coates. And she does paintings on canvas. So she did something on the ant. I spoke to her, and of course we did the ant piece. Now, when I was speaking, she wasn't there yesterday. I was speaking to someone else. And we're just talking about the ant, and then suddenly we heard this kind of crash. It sounded like glass breaking. It was actually the ceramic. It was one of the ceramics just outside. It was creepy stuff, you could argue. Yes, I believe that probably ceramic does break, but just the timing of it. Talking about ants, and then of course when I got back to the hostel, I had to remove the ant piece. So did something go down in the hostel of the timing of when that ceramic broke, when we were talking about the ants in studio, whatever, 34, I think it was 34, I'll check on that later. I think it was 34 studio at the Spanish Arts Centre Precinct. That's interesting, isn't it? Now, talking about this hostel, well, it's just full of drugs. We're not just talking alcohol. Yes, the alcohol smoking, but people aren't just smoking, they're smoking cannabis. Even in Barron's dorm, they're not smoking in the dorm, but they've got cannabis in there. I mean, it just smells the cannabis. Wasn't so bad last night. And I don't know, I'm just not convinced. I'm not going to say anything because I don't know, I just can't be bothered. But I don't know, I think maybe the staff are smoking. I don't know. It's just like this. It's like this. The Backpackers got sort of, I don't know, 10 out of 10 rating. I don't know. Maybe it was one or two people, but I only got a couple of more nights. But yeah, I think it's just good to get out of there. Speaking of someone in the dorm last night, she was really nice. But yeah, she had cannabis as well. Oh, hang on, it was a bird. Yeah, it was a bird. Imagine the word cannabis and a bird just flew past. Yeah, that's creepy, isn't it? Yeah, so anyway, I was talking to her last night. So they're nice people. I think they're nice people. Maybe just kind of, not... I don't know. Well, the very fact they're staying in hostels and they're not sort of backpackers anyway, so sort of getting cheap accommodation and into this sort of drugs, and I don't know. But look, I've got a couple of more nights. Going back to LA, hopefully LA will be fine. I'm staying actually at the airport, and then back to Sydney. So, and we're talking a 3-month stint, and even some of the places, there was another bird that went past there. Yeah, so some of the other places in Belgium, France, and so on, the hostel, the Joe and Joe's, some guy threatening Barron. I looked up, I don't know, must have caught his eye or something, and then he comes over to me half an hour later and says, "Don't look at me." I found that a little bit threatening. Also, the smoking as well. The tobacco was another bird. The smoking that comes through into the into the actual hostel from smoking outside. I don't believe that people are smoking. I don't think they're smoking cannabis itself in the hostels in Europe. Even in Amsterdam, I thought that was okay. Well, there was some guy, I don't know, he was from Saudi Arabia, going around talking up, the smoking, the cannabis, the coffee shops in Amsterdam. But yes, it is legal in Amsterdam itself. But it was a bit concerning, I suppose. But yeah, overall, there was another bird there. Overall experience, well, yes, it's been good. There's been some highlights. Definitely. I would still travel, but not everything goes to plan. There's another bird. Not everything is going to go to plan. It's unpredictable. Hostels are very unpredictable, but I don't know. You got to weigh it up, costs too, and maybe you go a hostel, recover in a hotel later. But go maximum 1 week in a hostel from Barron's experience, just in case it doesn't work out and you have to leave and so on. So. Okay, I think we'll leave that. I was going to say, yeah, so those two girls, there they are there. Yeah, they walked past Barron. I didn't really want to film them, as I was walking past. Yeah, so, I mean, they're fine at the end of the day. Maybe they just do this thing day in, day out, and it's not a problem, but it does set a bit of a precedent that I don't think you want to be doing this sort of stuff. Down cliffs, we're talking down quite a steep cliff here. This is a pretty steep cliff at the end of the day. They went bare shoes. Even these people here, I mean, they look like tourists getting a photo. I wouldn't even do something like that. I mean, that itself, well, yeah, it looks safe, but I don't know. You get closer to the edge and so on. But these people, going down the actual cliff on that rope there. So that rope itself, that is not their rope. That rope is someone's put that rope there. I mean, why have the council allowed a rope to encourage people? Okay, so there's a guy down here on a surfboard. So maybe it's just common, I don't know. Just crazy. People are just crazy. to go out for a surf. In fact, he did it pretty easy at the end of the day. In fact, he just slammed it basically. In fact, it's not a big deal, Baron. Maybe you should try it, Baron. No. It is dangerous stuff. And now you're going to have to go out on the rocks, physically out on these rocks, just to get into the water, into a potentially dangerous surf, just to, just to catch the best wave with these guys out here. Yeah. Maybe it's a thrill. They're just thrill seekers. I don't know. And that's their kind of lifestyle. I don't know what to make of it. But anyway, bit limited on data. Check out the video. We're talking birds. I don't know. How many birds were there? You count them. And maybe we'll perform maybe a minuscule ant tomorrow morning, sunrise, and then leave back to LA on the whatever it is, the name of the coastline or something. Yeah, back to LA, and then a couple of days fly out, LA, Sydney, and I think we'll leave it there. And that was my breaks. Ooh, ooh, ooh.